as the music builds up, it's always gonna hit. Ooh! Hi, my name is Jordan Orme. I'm a professional music video editor for artists like these guys. Yo. This is like a freaking movie. Having teeny weeny text, incredibly cinematic because we're pretending as if this was shown in a theater on a giant screen. And when you're watching on a giant screen, small text doesn't seem that small. If you ever want to make your video seem very cinematic, use very small titles, text, credits. The audio is super interesting too. It sounds like Christmas. It's like there's a parade going on. Oh, they're just throwing money out. Oh. Plot twist! That was some data moshing, baby. You have to actually go into a separate program, take 2 shots, put it into the program, and it will actually mosh the shots together and combine them. It does that by removing what's called iframes and p-frames, and it essentially destroys the image, creating this glitch effect. It looks so cool. I love the sound design too. The contrast between the creepy radio sounds and the intense music, and then the celebratory, like, happy Christmas music. I don't know why I always think of Christmas. It honestly makes it creepy when you know that there's impending doom happening and there's so much celebration. That is a really good cinematic technique. I love the longer shots. Oh boy. Oh boy. And you get a car, and you get a car, and you get a car. I don't know if you could read his lips, but listen to the sound. Listen how it's changed. Ooh! Okay. We see this shot. Once we break the 4th wall, it's like, okay, something serious is happening. We're about to make a move. And then this next shot that we show of our guys, you can see that they're smiling, they're having a good time, but the sound has changed. You don't hear the music anymore. And now you hear sirens, you hear a lot more intense sounds that make us feel unsettling. And the camera movement also isn't that long, smooth shot. Everything's getting a little shaky. The camera's moving faster. It's a little more intense. And then we cut to this shot with our masked up boys. I don't know what these guys were doing, but they're just having a celebratory time. And they don't see this big giant mass of people dressed in black getting ready to mob them. Like, there's no police. Like, what is going on? But then look at this, bro. Look at that background, the coding, the amount of images, the glitching. It's insane. I'm guessing they hired a VFX artist to create this background, and then they just had him perform his lyrics 4 or 5 times so they could jump cut the different performances together. The music is so oddly calming. Whoa, this title's so cool. It's an overhead shot of the city, and it's a time lapse, so the beginning, it's the morning time, and then the shadows extend over the text. That is really cool. Go off, guys! That is so cool. Oh, okay, this is a whole operation. They've been planning this for a while. I love how they showed the guy jumping between the buildings during that bird sound as if he is the bird flying. Oh! Every kick drum, every boom, 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 the camera is shaking, shaking, shaking. And then we get into this face tracking shot. We're living in the future now where they have AI that can do that for us. But if you're like me and you had to actually do this back in the day manually, every single frame, you make sure that his eyes, his nose stays in the exact same part of the screen and move him to that spot on the screen. Ooh! His face is so funny too.
Yazzie, Yazzie!
Yeah. Ooh, this camera shakes me. Feel that. Whoa! On set, they had these screens with this interesting pattern on it. And then they decided in post, they're like, you know, we should make the screens glitch a little bit. But they didn't even take any time to rotoscope out the bars. They just sloppily slapped it on top. And honestly, it works. I didn't even really notice it. It's sponsor time! Guys, VPNs are so important. If you don't know what a VPN is, it's a virtual private network that keeps you safe. Like a mask. covering you up online. The internet's getting bigger and scarier, so anybody who tries to snoop on you, steal your information, they're gonna have no luck when you use a VPN like Surfshark. A VPN also lets you travel anywhere in the world, virtually. So instead of pirating Dune from a creepy website, you just flip on your VPN and you have access to the entire world's Netflix catalog, or any streaming service for that matter. Or if one of your favorite streaming or social media services is blocked, you can flip on your VPN, move yourself to a different country, and you're good to go. It's kind of cool, we're world travelers over here. Lastly, one of my favorite things is that you get the best deal online shopping. You probably didn't know this, but there's different prices for online stores for people around the world. So if you switch your location to a cheaper area, you are getting some insane deals on shopping. Your VPN is essentially paying for itself because of the amount of money you're saving shopping. I'm excited because we got an insane deal for you guys. Get Surfshark VPN at surfshark.deal/JordanOrm and enter promo code JordanOrm for 83% off plus 3 months for free. For a limited time this month, Surfshark is giving away their antivirus. You get an antivirus for free for the entire 27 months. Download Surfshark now. See how they were visually matching what we were hearing during every single yeah. We actually went to a close-up and had the camera whip in on them. This rap goes so hard. And they're collecting some stuff. We have dog muzzles and Nerf guns and sand. I don't know what is going on. But once you combine a time lapse with a lot of motion blur with this fire rap where he's just going crazy, he's just continue to cut that faster and faster and faster. As the music builds up, it's always gonna hit. Ooh! So good. Oh my, the tiger is so good. But you see that they actually use a transition. So as he punches, it literally zooms in and turns into the tiger with a little bit of chromatic aberration effect, which is why the tiger looks a little colorful. Having the CRT VFX tiger during that roar makes it feel so much more intense. And it was so unexpected. It scares you. Ooh! Oh, this is so intense. Oh, they're storming the castle. Oh. They're just like... I really wonder what they said, though. Like, what are they... What's their speech? Oh, that was a sick transition. I wonder if this bird was real or VFX. Because they might have been shooting during the day, and they just see like, oh, there's a bird. And then color graded the sky to match the next scene and spun it around. Since this whole background here is VFX, you can honestly create any transition you want with it. So the buildings can start down, and then you can adjust the buildings so they come up. And then once you add directional blur to that, it actually makes it look like the buildings are flying and they're moving. And you get great, really cool transitions like that. Ooh. He's just staring. Oh, frick, that's scary. That's a VFX, but that makes me queasy, bro. They went pretty hard on the VFX here. Whoa. That's the advantage of green screen sometimes. Usually always use practical effects because green screen is poopy. Why was I like a pubescent 5-year-old right there?
I'm 5.
If it's practical, it's really hard to time-lapse the background to keep the foreground the same. Ooh, that zoom. They're using lots of, like, really harsh zooms. Ooh! Okay, talk to me, babe.
Baby!
So this is actually 2 effects combined. There's something in Premiere called the push transition, which literally takes a shot and then pushes another shot in place of it. It looks like the most cheesy transition that you've ever seen. But when you take that transition and combine it with pixel sorting, which is essentially just like data moshing, except instead of moshing everything, you're just moshing the pixels and stretching them out in one direction, it looks fuego. So that time they actually didn't add fast cuts during the build-up. There was enough camera motion. The lights in the background are flickering on and off. There's some zooms. The shot by itself was intense enough to create that feeling of like, So you have to be watching your footage and asking yourself, okay, how does this make me feel? That is the key to editing. Ooh, and then they did a little vertical push, but really fast with some motion blur. Ooh! I love that we're adding zooms on those important moments. On that. Whew. That's nice. Dude! Did you see that? He actually shot us and we got sniped. We actually added a lens distortion effect really quick between the two shots, and it looks like there's a bullet distorting the air as it flies at us. I've never thought of doing something like that. Oh, this camera rig is called a snorri cam. You actually attach a belt and an arm and a camera to you, and it's almost like you're filming a selfie, but you don't have to use any hands. And it gets this really interesting effect, especially when you're dancing and moving around. It looks incredible. Oh, it looks so good. Oh my god, they're popping off. Our boys get into a circle formation. They get ready for an overhead shot, and they actually freeze frame them, and the ground seems to fly away from them. They get what's called a plate, which is just the ground. The boys aren't in frame yet, and they actually zoom it out and make it look like it's falling away after they rotoscope out the boys when they're freeze framed. And it looks like they actually use a lens distortion effect to help with that as well. Oh my gosh. So they pretty much overthrew the government and they're just taking to the streets. And, you know, going to the roof later. Is that what I'm seeing? Interesting. Alright, let's do it.